The United Nations and Arab League mediator Lakhdar Brahimi presented 10 points he believes the two sides agree on. But with fighting continuing to rage in Syria, he acknowledged the list doesn't amount to much, with its calls for negotiations, easing the suffering of the Syrian people, and building respect for democracy and human rights.
Progress is very slow indeed, but the sides have engaged in an acceptable manner. This is a very modest beginning, but it is a beginning on which we can build.
Still, the negotiators clashed in their own separate news conferences. Syrian Foreign Minister Walid Muallim said the opposition delegation is not representative and cannot control many of the armed groups. He said President Bashar al-Assad will decide whether the government delegation returns to Geneva.
And he will first read our reports about what's happened this week. And accordingly, he will discuss with us, the government also, and then the decision will be taken.
President Assad's future role is a key issue in dispute. The government says he will stay, and the opposition says he must go. Still, opposition spokesman Luay Safi was encouraged that the creation of a transitional authority will at least be on the agenda if the talks resume.
I'm sure this will be a very difficult process, but we'll have to go through it. Saving Syria really worth every second we spend here, even knowing that sometime we are moving little or moving nowhere.
Middle East expert Hannah Poppy of the Risk Advisory Group told VOA via Skype that feeling of little or no movement is likely to continue.
This is very much a very early stage of any kind of negotiations, and what all sides have said will be a very long-term process, lasting potentially at the very least months, but more realistically years.
And that's not good news for the Syrian people who've been suffering through nearly 3 years of war, something the mediator urged both sides to keep in mind as they prepare for what he hopes will be another round of talks. Pessin, VOA News, London.